Guys, thank you so much for being here.
Good to see you.
Thank you for having us.
Oh,
Thanks for having us.
Erica, it's
See
so
you
good
again.
to
such
see you
a
back.
treat, such a treat. And Mitch, so glad you got my clothing notes.
I know.
Yeah, we were matching
Excellent. Yeah.
shirt and
You're
shoes.
looking dapper.
no, I
Your
didn't get
memo
it right.
didn't come through.
Yeah, oh, sorry.
We got the
Dapper.
dark pants going, so
Yes,
that's good.
yeah. Okay, guys. You traveled from New Jersey today, right?
Yeah, we met up in our office in Central Jersey.
Okay.
And drove up here.
Okay, fantastic. And for the people that don't know you, what are your names and what do you do?
Okay, well, I'll start. So thank you for having me back. Mitch Newman. My official title is Vice President of Land for Lennar's New Jersey, New York division. And that, of course, includes the Tuxedo property that we've talked about, Tuxedo Reserve.
Right.
And Lisa, why don't you introduce yourself?
Lisa Higgins, Director of Forward Planning for Lennar. I know what your next question is. What the heck does that mean, right?
We will ask you that, actually.
Well, that's why I get to make the good money. No one knows what I do.
But we need that. What does she do? If I do my job very well, you would never notice me.
That's the goal, right?
So how do I know if you're doing your job? You don't.
You trust me.
Right. If I wasn't, you'd know for sure.
I promise she's doing a really great job.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
I'll vouch for her.
Yeah. And so does Linda, right? Does Linda know you're here?
Yes, the lovely. You have to go right back. Yes, the lovely Linda, my wife. For
How
those
is
of you that,
she?
Yeah,
Because
yeah, she's doing absolutely fine. I did tell her she could come here and be
Yes,
part of the
we
fun.
would have loved
Yeah.
to meet her, finally.
And she would have loved to meet you both, but she said no. She'll just leave the frontline presentations
Okay.
to me and to Lisa. And she's right
Front line.
So we need to grab her outside of the front line, right? It's
Yes.
like more behind the scenes.
Yes, there you go. Some candid
Okay.
behind the scenes
Okay.
photos.
Yeah, we'll figure that out along the way. But thank you for bringing that back up.
Okay.
And I'm jumping ahead of you both, but I had a particular purpose in coming back, if you don't
Indeed.
mind me
Yes,
jumping
Absolutely.
in.
Yes.
Please,
Yes.
go ahead.
So I love the time we spent together with the first installment of the conversation.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when I left, I thought everything went really well,
Yeah.
even though I had 4 pages of notes and didn't get to one of them because somebody never let me
I know.
get going.
Sorry.
Yeah,
It's,
no, it's okay. But the one
the talk show hosting.
so the one regret I had was that I never got to one thing that is important to me, and is thanking the teammates that I have at the office that support everything we do and are working with me. And we kept talking about what I did and a little bit about Lennar and a little bit about Adam.
Yeah.
So if you could give me the stage.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yes, absolutely.
So there's 4.
It would be my job, to challenge what you say, right?
I know. It's,
Otherwise, you could say anything, and people would go, "Why is not interrupting him?" Starting with these.
I'll be brief. So there's 4 groups I need to recognize and thank.
Right.
One I
Yes.
did already, which is the folks at Tuxedo,
All right.
which is the
Yes.
supervisors, the board, and all that.
Fantastic.
And they're instrumental to our success here in our
Uh-huh.
Tuxedo Reserve community.
Yes.
So I did thank them last time.
Right.
But I also didn't. I was remiss in not saying or recognizing the folks at Related, and Related is a company that Lennar bought the property from,
Okay.
but they stay very involved with us. So there's Greg and Dylan with Related, so I wanted to give them a shout out for also working so hard and diligently with us on the entire process.
Were they angry that you didn't address them in the first interview? But like, Mitch, what are you doing, mate?
Where are we? Where are we?
If they were kind enough not to say
I thought we were
anything.
friends. I thought we built something together.
So I'm trying to get ahead of that problem and give them their moment in the sun.
Yes, in the spotlight. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's 2 down.
Why are they not here instead?
Well, don't look at me.
No, you're the guest.
Right, we're just the guests. You could have invited them.
Oh, okay.
I'll give you their contact info.
Okay.
Then it's up to then
Greg
it's on
and
you.
Dylan, you are next.
Yeah.
It sounds like a warning more than an
Sounds like a
invitation.
warning.
Okay, but
Wait,
yeah.
so I'm going to keep going.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
No,
I
so
know
that-
you want to take me somewhere else.
No.
So the third group to recognize are folks back at Lennar that were also working with me and Lisa. And we'll talk about Lisa in a minute.
Yes.
And that is everything from our division president, Anthony,
Yes.
the head of sales and marketing, Dana, the head of land development, Tom, the head of our land department, Bob. So all those
many
folks,
people.
and there's a few others. There's the Jack, there's Rodney, there's Debbie.
Do you like them all?
Susan.
Do you like Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite?
Well, right. So you want me to start with who I don't like? Should we list those?
Is
Only the favorites.
only the one, so the other
only
ones
the
don't get.
ones,
They don't know what position they have.
There's
you
only
know?
one person sitting here with him, so of course
Oh,
it's going to be me.
Oh, thank you. Yes, Lisa's my favorite. We didn't get to you yet.
I know, but I'm getting a little impatient.
I'm going to wrap this up in about 2 seconds. So, no, there are no favorites. We're all a wonderful team.
That's nice.
And it's a
I'm sure
great
it is.
leadership group. And they were also very helpful in us getting all those things I talked about last time, the parts of the special permit and the rezoning. And, I get the pleasure with Lisa of being on the front line, but they're giving us assistance, guidance, direction, and
Indeed,
that's
yes.
all really important. So the fourth person or group to thank is our co-guest here today, Lisa.
Lisa Higgins.
Because all of that hard work where we did all that drafting to make all those changes to the zoning, and I talked about all that minutia. That definitely wasn't just me.
Oh yeah,
that was us working.
You weren't building all of that alone.
Yeah, did I give that impression? That was my.
I thought it was just you. Yeah, just you go with the machinery.
You were incredibly compelling. We could have believed that.
Right.
You are.
I thought Adam was just there to hold the microphone. Yeah.
I'm not going. So you gotta watch. Then you're tempted to just say yes. Then you said yes to the wrong thing. So I felt remiss in all that. So thank you for letting me get that off my chest. And I wanted to make sure that I introduced Lisa in person.
Oh yes,
she was so instrumental.
It is lovely to meet
everything
you
we did.
as well. And now I'll tell you really what I do.
Oh yes, yeah.
So I assist with the approvals team, as Mitch indicated. We were instrumental in rewriting the zoning ordinances and all of the governing
the zoning ordinance.
Well,
That's very
specific to this community,
To this
not
community,
for the entire
Not because you
town.
didn't like it. Guys, what have you done here? Give that.
No, but
to me.
that must be challenging, I imagine. Yeah, sorry. If
It was a
yeah.
great learning experience because a lot of the townships that we've worked with in the past have already established their ordinances and governing documentation. So it's mostly just reading through them. But having had the experience in that, we were able to formulate what we knew would work best with the products that we wanted to put forth in this community.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, and is it what are the trade-offs when you're rewriting something like this? So maybe I guess there must be something that you leave, and because you might have some priorities in that. What would be the
there's different parts that you have to put your focus on, and then these other elements start to jump in. Like you're focused on how far the homes have to be between next to each other. They can't be closer than 10 feet or 15 feet. But at the same time, you have to leave room in the driveway to make sure the car will fit. And then you have to make sure, is there enough parking in the street? And then as you start writing and drafting these layers, other items start coming to light. That we'd identify, and then we'd have to work together. Okay, how are we going to draft this? In writing, it's one thing, but the other part of it just has to work. You have to be able to draft and create something that creates a beautiful neighborhood, someplace you'll want to call home.
Indeed, yes, yeah.
And I think I had mentioned that we have a variety of home types. There's single family, there's condominiums, there's 4 types of townhomes. There's an age-restricted section where I might live one day. Soon.
Nice.
There's an age-restricted section. You too, by the way.
Oh,
And so in writing it, you have to keep in mind that there's different lifestyles in the community. And that's what kept us busy, is when we would draft the parking section. It's like, wait, does that work for someone in a condominium versus somebody in a single family home? Is it the same?
So many factors.
All these nuances.
So much diversity as well.
When we thought that we had it perfect and we presented it to the board, they gave us even more opportunity for enhancements.
Amazing. So good. I love the teamwork, and applause to that.
Amazing.
Thank you. No, it was a great team effort.
And so I want you to dive deep with you, because of the this is such a big project, and it has got a lot of elements in energy savings and sustainability. So I would like to dive deep into some of the technical, maybe if you know, if you can explain about the energy and the sustainability. What are the improvements that have been built into within these?
So I'll start.
The future that is built.
Yeah,
and what you are working on.
So I'm going to start big picture, and then Lisa will fill in some of the gaps on some of those technical parts,
Yes.
and that's where we work well together.
Yes.
And we will interrupt in the middle.
I've told you, keep an eye out. So on the big picture, the site is going to be unique because it's going to be all electric.
Oh,
So it won't rely on fossil fuels or some of those things you hear out there that people are trying to get away from. So as an all-electric community, it'll be our first, which put a little pressure on Lisa to have to work with the right fixtures and appliances in the house to make sure that operated correctly. So can you fill in some of those gaps of some of the enhancements that make the home more sustainable?
Certainly. So we are obviously trying to we're trying to move forward with Energy Star, and they are very soon implementing more stringent requirements. So to get ahead of that, while we were designing our Tuxedo products, we were keeping those requirements in mind, which means we need energy efficient appliances. We need to apply the appropriate amount of insulation and achieve a certain number in or her score for us to be able to qualify for that. So that's something we've been putting a lot of focus on to ensure that we're successful.
Lots of boxes to check, I imagine, right?
And things like tankless hot water heaters.
So interestingly enough, we cannot implement the tankless hot water heaters here because the electric ones don't appear to be as lucrative in the hot water aspect as the gas ones do. So we did decide to go tanked in this particular community because the electric tanked heaters tend to have a more favorable outcome.
Oh, interesting.
And that's part of the nuances where it helps to work together and talk these things through. So lots of different parts.
You know, so we live in a very back in London. You know, in a very modern building. I guess something near close to the ones that you're building there. And I can see the difference in between living in an old one with bricks maybe, and that offers a different insulation. So living in those modern condominiums, is a condominium the one that
there's different there's condominium style. There's a more classic single family detached style. Then there's a townhome, which is kind of in between the two of them. And in each case, it'll be a more modern construction, different than living in an older style, which has less insulation and might focus more on brick.
And it's more comfortable as a lifestyle, isn't it? It's a bit.
What's the impact on the on the people living?
Yeah, exactly.
If they will be living.
It will be a decrease in their energy bills. So.
Okay, so reducing costs first and foremost.
Yes. And we have to, of course, we have to meet the modern building code standards. So there would, there's a whole another layer of requirements that we have to get to just as set up by the government. So, which is good. It keeps everything on the right standard, and then we have a construction obligation, so it makes the home wonderful.
That's it.
Do you have also an impact when it comes to climate change? Because with your is big constructions, big developments, so they have an impact on the environment. What are you doing to balance the impact on the environment?
Right, and that's a good point and a good question. So we have two methods where we're working to control our environmental footprint. And one of them is by making sure our stormwater basins, which collect the rainwater, are operating in peak condition and they meet all the requirements. So first, controlling the rainwater for storm basins. And the other one is what we talked about a minute ago, is our footprint with energy and going all electric. So we're trying to minimize our impact
that
that way.
Great impact.
So those are two.
And safety, because gas is more dangerous.
I wouldn't say it's more dangerous because it is a fuel that we use in other communities.
Oh, okay.
So it's absolutely fine.
But it's something that I knew. So, but you would say it's not that
No, when you handle it correctly and follow the right.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
fair
of
enough.
course. If
Yes,
you-
yeah,
I think
absolutely.
it's dangerous if you leave it open, if you go where
If you live with Erica, I actually live there.
No, I won't.
Yeah, don't ever leave the stove on.
No,
That's good
never,
advice in
never,
all
yeah.
cases.
Every time we get out of the house, she goes,
But
"Did
it's
we
so-
leave anything
Right.
on?" Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I think that's an automatic. You know, when you go out, you always think that there is something switched on. So you
course.
always come back again.
You have to do the mental
because you do it
calculation
so
in your
much
head.
automatically
Right.
every single
Do you
day.
have maybe alarms and maybe controls so they can say if something has been switched, left switched on?
We're not quite that high tech yet.
Oh, okay. Yes,
Because I have that on my phone, that I have my garage door.
Yeah.
control.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So when
Yeah.
we're 10 minutes from the home, and the lovely Linda will
The
say,
lovely
"Did
Linda."
you leave the garage door open?" In the past, I'd have to either just say, "I hope I didn't," or we'd have to drive back.
Yeah.
Now I can
Oh
pull
my
it out and
God,
say,
yeah.
"No, look, the phone says it's closed."
It's closed.
Is that just a picture that you use? Oh, it's closed. Yeah, it's always the same.
I'm
But it
not
was
sure.
raining before. Yeah.
That would be very. I never thought of that. No, I went with the real app.
Oh, with the real wow.
Yeah, so all of our homeowners could probably find that app also. And
Okay, yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah,
Yeah. Hey, I do. I'm just trying to stay ahead of you today.
yeah.
We did bring some Lennar gifts.
Amazing,
in that
really?
bag, if you want to read
Oh,
some
yes.
of it.
That's so kind.
just for fun.
Nice.
Yeah. So let's see. Only a
Thank you
couple.
so much.
It's not like the Mary Poppins bag, like a home will come
No,
out
no.
of it, right?
No, it's not that.
Say,
Mitch, are you giving us a new house? A new house there.
No, I will.
love this.
All right. So we have
So
some
good.
Lennar
Thank you.
travel
guys.
mugs. And-
Plus, this is like the most wonderful color. We love blue.
Oh,
good.
It's got very
perfect.
nice.
Thank you. I mean, that's
Actually, we needed this. We were
Yeah,
about to buy a
perfect
couple of
for-
those. Yeah.
So
you
it's
know, we were
Thank you
looking
so
at
much.
this.
Thank you
lunch,
so much.
That's awesome.
Just for fun.
Very
Yes,
welcome.
Thank you.
It's amazing.
Oh,
Thank
you're
you.
welcome.
That's very, very kind.
And you can certainly have the Lennar bag also. I just got to take my leather.
Can they purchase one of
Bonus.
these if they want to?
It's
a bonus bag
for you to carry on your
No. Those are mine. But what if they want to buy one
If
of
the
these?
audience wants to buy merchandise,
Merchandise from
I
Lennar.
don't
yeah.
know if we sell Lennar merchandise
I
to the
don't know
public.
if we do.
But,
Okay, well, we
know.
do. You contact us.
But if somebody in the audience would like to buy a Lennar home,
Yeah.
they should contact
Yes,
me.
Oh,
personally,
yes.
And I will make sure they get this.
They get the package.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, good question. Actually, if they want to purchase a house, would you? Can they contact you straight away?
They can. What I would, they can contact myself or Lisa.
Should they
by the way.
pop by your house straight
No,
away?
we would
Just
put
to
them
call my
directly
wife.
in contact with our sales experts.
Yeah, I imagine.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So the head of sales for our division is Debbie.
Yeah.
So if somebody were to contact myself or Lisa, we would just forward their info to Debbie, and Debbie will give them the VIP treatment.
Okay, nice.
But
Nice.
yeah, thank you for the commercial.
No. That's,
Just go on the website. And,
well, you know,
No, because
whenever I see something, maybe I want to purchase it. And,
Yeah, let's say
I think it's
exactly. Yeah,
fair enough. Yeah.
It's
And you know, do you think I'd like to ask you what's the price range of the houses? 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, I don't know.
yeah, so let me
have an idea?
I'll stay in the big picture again in round numbers. So the smaller homes would be the condominiums, and they'll probably be in the high threes, the high 300,000.
Okay.
And then the single family homes, the largest end of the scale, will probably be somewhere in the mid to high 700,000.
Okay, I mean,
Yeah.
that's
So-
fair, yeah.
3 to 7. I know those are round numbers. And there's a bunch of different townhome styles that fall in the middle there. And also the age-restricted homes will fall somewhere in that range also.
Like
So-
500,600 for the townhouse.
For the townhomes, probably right in that range. Yeah.
Amazing.
That's
wow.
beautiful.
Yeah,
And I have to say, as a disclaimer, all home pricing is subject to market conditions.
Oh no, fair enough.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, absolutely. Yes,
yeah,
yes,
I don't
yes,
want-
This is a talk show. I mean, yeah.
absolutely.
All right.
Yes,
I just want to be.
They won't request. Oh no, but you said 300,000.
I know that.
No, yeah, 3,000. Yeah,
it's
I'm
not
like,
that.
That's why I'm
Of course,
starting.
it changes
We're
from
not
territory.
We're
No,
not
no,
outside
market.
like last time, but I'm starting to sweat now that I.
no. That's fair enough. Yeah.
No,
but
that's
you,
fine.
the houses, they come with I don't know, some I wouldn't say optionals.
White
maybe
what about the
maybe the
appliances
kitchen.
and
Appliances.
So Lennar has a very interesting theory that we operate under, and it's called EI. EI means
EI.
everything's included. So based on what market tells us that our buyers want, we just naturally incorporate that into the home, and it's in the base house price, so that our pricing is our pricing.
So basically, inside, so you get we from 300 to 700, roughly, of course, subject to disclaimers and so.
Thank you.
Basically, you get all of the furniture and the kitchen, really.
So not
That's so good.
all of it, but
No, all of it.
No,
Yeah, no.
the white,
But the
I would
kitchen,
call
but the
white,
not the furniture.
Is the white appliances is like the dishwasher?
correct. So the only thing
So
that
good,
we would
though.
add as an option right now is our washer and dryer.
Mm-hmm.
But
Oh,
other
wow.
than that, everything else is included.
That's amazing. I mean, a kitchen alone, sometimes just like a 10, 20 grand. I mean,
Absolutely.
It
That's
all
fantastic.
adds up, and
Yeah.
as Lisa said, it's a wonderful program that Lennar offers to make the buying process a lot easier and simpler.
Wow. So basically, you purchase it, you go there and you leave. You don't have to think.
Right, there's no
Yeah.
surprises
Yeah.
on. I saw
So
a
good,
model
yeah.
home that had X, Y, and Z, and why doesn't my home come with that?
Yeah, no, it's good.
Yeah, fair enough. Yes,
I don't want to
yes,
make it
yes,
sound like a
yes.
commercial. Hey, wow, I don't have to do that. Yeah, but it is
But
actually.
it is actually like this. You go and enjoy.
Because usually
nothing to
you
think.
see a house and then you go, oh, now we have to purchase, and you
Yeah.
go online and what is the
There's lots of additional things to select. which,
Also,
which-
find the person that takes care about the design if you don't want to like find
Yes,
the
yeah.
patterns, the palettes, or which kind of kitchen are we putting here. So
Right.
it's like a great deal of a job done already
Yes,
there.
absolutely.
Do you have
Our
one of those
designers
houses?
imagine like,
Do you have?
No, my house had lots of upgrades and options
Okay,
that were that came as part of the purchase, but these things add up.
Okay, yeah, of course.
So and that was a while ago. So maybe things have definitely changed.
Yes. Oh, but it's still. Did you get it from? Was it something like an older one, or maybe it was a?
no,
a new development.
It was a new development. It wasn't a Lennar development back then.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't live in a Lennar development.
I purchased a resale home.
Yeah.
It was what it was. There was no options or selection.
But you're kind of touching on it, and I don't think we talked about it. Part of the process in everything we talked about in the special permit and the rezoning is making sure that the homes are designed correctly. And part of that responsibility is Lisa's, which means she's working with our architects in that process, as well as our engineers and planners that are also, and attorneys that are a part of it. But it's her role to bring the architect into the fold and make sure that he or she, in this case, he, Scott, is designing the home to our standards and making sure any changes on the exterior are going to be suitable for the community and for the town. So we appreciate that work also, Lisa.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sophia. May I ask how long does it take for the work of an architect to come into place? Like first design, how many drafts are there before you get the final design? I imagine there is a back and forth with you and the rest
lot
of the
of it
team. But
depends
how
on
long
the-
is in terms of time? Like
A lot of it
roughly,
depends on the complexity of the project or the
Okay.
product itself. We try to use reuse whenever it's feasible and then perhaps make some modifications so that it fits better into the various communities. But when we do a new product type,
from scratch. Yeah.
it could take us several months just working with the architect to ensure that
Wow.
we're speccing out the right materials before we even get into structural and MEPs. And we try to take our time with that because the slower we go and the more thorough we are up front, the less changes we'll get.
yes, of course.
in the
Of
field
course,
when
yes,
it goes into
preventing
production.
any other. Yes.
Yes, yeah.
And you mentioned materials. Is there a specific material that you prefer compared to other materials? Also, aligning yourself with your sustainability goals.
So
when
with respect to
designing,
materials, we really just try to be consistent. We do have some that, we've worked out contracts with. And as long as we maintain consistency with those, we can leverage that to get the best deal possible so that we can keep the value of our homes achievable for our buyers.
course. Yes.
So there isn't anything that's necessarily better than something else. But we do try to be
if there was like a
consistent.
preference. among like thousands of materials.
Yes, there are a lot.
Like a
But we do-
golden tops and
Marble
and chandeliers.
and,
With
yeah,
finishes,
and
we do
like
rely heavily on our
finishes and-
sales and marketing team to give us feedback on what the buyers are the most interested in. So
Oh, okay.
when we do make a change in what our selections for those 3 or 4 countertop colors may be, it's based on feedback that we got from previous buyers.
And
Oh, okay.
it's interesting, since you follow a lot the intricacies of development, and you are very much behind the scenes of everything before it happens. Does it happen that town councils, for example, have a say on the
Appearance.
outside appearance of the actual development, especially if it's a town that is historic, where there is a lot of attachment to the heritage that must be preserved, as well as I don't talk about, like, of course, environment and breathtaking landscapes that should be there and be seen by the windows and not covered. Or
So each township does have their own building design criteria, and
Okay.
if they are on the more historical side, they tend to be more stringent with their criteria. So they
how
may.
do you challenge that? How do you balance that? When you're
So we'll make modifications as appropriate, because when we find a community that we really want to move forward with, we want to work with the town and build that good relationship and
Yeah, of course.
create something that both Lennar and the town will be proud of.
you work together.
Yes.
You don't shush them. Oh, shut up. This is great. Have a look.
That would not be advisable.
Yeah.
No, we might try to, as Lisa's saying, we might try to push back, but more more typically we try to find that middle ground.
Yes.
Find something that
Which is the
follows
best
their
thing, yeah.
needs, but also makes the home something desirable to live in.
Indeed, yes.
course.
Also on materials, the other element that we try to stay with is the exterior of the home is something that can be as maintenance-free as possible.
Oh,
yes.
very
That's a very
good.
good
So that
point.
it'll
Yes.
survive the weather and
Uh-huh.
it won't need to be touched up. So that's another part of it. Sometimes a town might say, why don't you use this type of wood or something that might look unbelievable for maybe the first couple of years, but the weather will cause it to need maintenance. So our goal is, no, we don't want to put that burden on our homeowners.
Absolutely
So
nice.
we try to stay in the maintenance-free realm. And there's a lot of different styles that Lisa's picked out that do still have that natural look, but still maintain that it's maintenance-free.
Nice.
I mean, this is very much the future of home living.
It is.
And how do you feel in this being part of this progress?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's very exciting to know that you're part of presenting the first steps for a home that'll be built, that'll have a nice long life, and then as we drive through a community that's built, it's really very satisfying to be able to look through it and see families and enjoying their day or people just enjoying their home, even if they're just doing the simple task of coming to work, checking the mail, sitting out on the front porch, entertaining neighbors. It's just very fulfilling to know that you had a role in some of that. So I know I truly enjoy that.
Do you ever?
It's a great word. I
Yeah.
love that word. It's perfect use for it.
Do you
It's
ever?
also evolving the landscape. You are evolving something. That
Oh
is
yes,
there.
yeah, absolutely. So good. Before there
it's
was nothing,
beautiful.
and now there
And
was a
it's all
community of how many houses you said?
Well, in here it's 1609.
I mean, yeah, I mean, huge.
So it's fantastic. When it will be finished, I mean, it will be.
Do you ever get jealous that they have all the upgrades that you didn't have back then?
Picked out.
Oh my God.
I said, yo,
that before, yeah.
Yes.
maybe
that-
someone goes, oh, there is a small scratch. And oh, you've got all of these. I mean, yeah.
That is true. And I'm sure you have the same thoughts when you go through these beautiful homes. You're saying, my home doesn't exactly.
Yes, that has
I would love my
absolutely
home to
happened
be-
to me driving through communities that we've been a part of creating and the recreation that we've put in those communities. I sit there and think, wow, it's so great to have that in my own house or near my own house.
Have you ever thought about selling your house and getting one of those?
Oh yes.
I've thought about it, but thinking about it and
do
taking
it.
the action,
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
you know,
Yeah, Linda.
yeah, life gets in the way.
Yes.
And sometimes we put our resources to taking a fantastic vacation.
Oh, yeah, correct. Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
we
Fair
might
enough.
see you one day in Europe.
Indeed, yes.
Yes.
You went to Ireland recently?
We're going soon. So we're going to Ireland.
All right, yeah.
But just not that, maybe I shouldn't be broadcasting this, but we'll also be in Europe in the spring.
Nice.
So I know you're in London.
London, yes.
yeah.
All right. So if you don't mind taking it's just a short hop over to maybe Italy.
Oh yes, yeah.
that would be
It's 2 hours and a half. Yeah,
Easily
yes,
done.
yeah. We're
That
gonna see
sounds
each
like
other there.
nothing.
Yeah.
We just drove almost 2 hours to get here, so I think
Really, it's reasonable to ask for it.
It is.
Yeah,
It is.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah,
I would have been
absolutely, yeah.
offended if you
Yes,
didn't ask me.
absolutely. Yes, yes.
I'll send you an email.
Wherever you
Fantastic.
will be, we'll be there. Nice.
I'll treat for dinner. How's that?
Oh, bless you.
Is that
No, I'll
motivated?
treat you for
Yes.
Yeah,
you
come to
Especially if
Italy.
you are in Italy. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
I
Yeah,
accept.
and in London,
Yes,
of course. Yeah.
I'll
Make
cook.
sure we're on record.
I'll cook so we can save some money.
Wait, I need to go book a vacation now and invite them.
Where they're treating. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. And
Yes.
so we can speak to Linda as well. Yeah.
Yes, you should check in with her. I don't need to get in trouble. Yeah, you'll check in with her, make sure it's all good, and we'll devote a vacation day to hanging out.
Fantastic.
All right, good.
And Lisa, we don't know your personal story. I mean,
Yes.
because we know Mitch, and
Right.
Yes.
but what about you? Was this your dream always to work for Lennar and this impact, or maybe back then you wanted to? Because needs in life they change.
Yes,
Your goals might take a different direction. Maybe back then you wanted to be an actress or maybe a singer. I don't know.
Engineer,
Yeah,
or
engineer.
When I was
designer,
5, I was
or writer.
Yeah.
But I just kind of stumbled into the home building industry without really knowing much about it. I had walked away from a position in a different industry and
Okay.
needed to find a job. I was a single mom with 3 girls.
Oh my
And
gosh.
In which industry you were working before, if I may ask?
Worked in the PVC industry.
Oh, PVC, oh, that's fine.
PVC.
PVC.
Oh, PVC. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So as I got more ingrained into the home building business, I really just developed a passion for it. And I just wanted to continue to learn and continue to grow. So Lennar has been phenomenal in offering that opportunity to me, because even though my prior home building experience started with another builder, I would say that 90% of what I learned has been through the last 5 years with Lennar.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's very, very nice.
A big, they're probably the biggest in the US, right?
Yes.
One of the
Yeah.
biggest in the country.
Yes, yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, and we're
Yes,
very proud
yes.
of that, and one of the biggest in New Jersey specifically.
Yes, yeah.
And
Yes.
we're making our footprint known in New York.
Do you ever go, oh my gosh, oh, that's how we do that. Oh, that's how we do, that you discover how things are done.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
both are, constantly learning another
Every
aspect
day.
of our business.
Yes, yeah.
Which is another great part about this industry is you'll never get bored, you'll never be complacent.
Yes, yeah.
There's always new and exciting obstacles to overcome or
Yes.
interesting things to implement.
Nice.
And
nice.
maybe that movie
Learn.
star goal when you were 5 can actually happen. Here we are.
Coming full circle.
Yeah, there you go.
And we were talking before about working in teams, because especially it's the most important part that you don't do, you wouldn't be able to do anything alone.
Exactly.
How is the part of your work structured? Do you have do you go to someone that has got their own team, so they manage, or is it like micromanagement, or is there more independency, like someone is?
Well, there's departments in our division. There's the sales and marketing department. There's the home construction department. And then there's the land acquisition department to find the properties. And then there's more or less the land department, which is where my focus is, which is governmental approvals, which overlaps with Lisa on forward planning. But in our division, I think what makes it fantastic for me, and look to you also, is the teams overlap. We work together.
Oh, okay.
We're constantly in meetings together. We're constantly checking in with each other. Hey, here's my next step. Does that work for you? Does that get along with you? Am I stepping on your toes? Or how do we do it a little
It's
better?
Very nice. Very respectful.
So that makes it a great environment in our division, and I hope you see it the same way.
Absolutely do. And it is fantastic to be able to get that additional input, even though if Mitch and I are working on something, and once again, similar to with the town, we believe it's perfect and we can't wait to get it in front of our team. There's always 5 or 6 things we didn't think of that
Oh,
we bring
yeah,
to the
yeah.
table,
Of
and it
course,
makes
yeah.
it that much better.
Do you ever
Constant
get
work, yeah.
Do you ever get inputs from maybe other parts of the maybe someone from marketing that says, these for marketing would be great. Because can you have it on the external structure? Maybe it would be great if we could market that we have, a line of red bricks on the white houses, and maybe you implemented that.
It does,
or maybe
happen.
vice versa. Maybe
No, it does happen that marketing will bring a new idea to the table, and then it'll have to run its course through the parts of the division. It also happens the other way, where we'll be in front of a town board, and they'll say you need to do a different color brick or another style, and then we're on the front lines. Okay, if we say yes, how is it going to work in reality? How are we going to be able to procure that product, that style? How are we going to be able to build it? What's the cost structure? So sometimes it comes from within, but sometimes those changes come from external forces. Even our own consultants. We have engineers, planners, attorneys that we work with, as we do here. And I'll just throw out Brad, Ashley, Christina. I should thank them too.
Yeah.
So they'll come to us with ideas as to how to make sure we're going in the right direction.
Oh, okay, right.
And part of our job is to balance that information and hopefully put it all together into one great decision.
Yes.
And so that when we're driving by, we can all say, well, that works. That looks good. Who thought of doing that? And then we can take credit.
This works.
Or we can make late changes.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, when we do the approvals, it's typically 2 years out before we start the community. So what looks great today, 2 years from now, may not be that popular. Or
Got it. Yeah, totally
so
true.
it should
Absolutely.
be future-proofed in a way when you.
so sometimes we have to go
Wow.
back and ask for changes.
Yeah.
But even
Does it
better,
happen often? that you have to
sometimes
go back for changes?
it happens enough.
Enough. Okay.
But sometimes we'll put something in and say, hey, that's something really cool. And maybe it's not quite a big thing yet.
Yeah.
And then by the time we get to the community opening, that particular element is so popular with buyers that we get to sit around and say, look how smart we were.
Fair enough. There are two ways I think of thinking about this. Is that trends within the years are becoming always changing faster. So before it was, I think, 10 years. And then it was 5, and now we are in the 3 years. It changes always faster. So, do you think that in a way you can somehow predict the nearest trends for when the sales are about to happen, or do you think that instead you can stick with a format that somehow becomes a beacon of? Because sometimes you see beautiful buildings or homes, and they're just beautiful. They're beautiful. They're beacons, like a Rolex, right?
Right.
It stands the timeless. So
that is a challenge to make sure the designs will hold up against the challenge of time. But we think we've done a good job with that, and we think that if you drove through any of the more contemporary Lennar communities over the past decade, you'd say that still looks good. It is still timeless.
Oh yeah.
And part of the way to achieve that is to stay within kind of I might say a conservative palette of options, and stay away from the bright pinks or the or a sharp purple. And, we might like those colors, but it might not be the right color for the front door.
Right. Yeah. Not greenhouses or blue.
Blue is becoming very popular now.
Really?
Yeah.
Mitch has been on the blue wagon for quite some time.
Really?
Yeah, I'm
And
getting
it's coming to fruition for
right.
him.
Very interesting.
chipping
Actually,
away at
blue
it.
is very
We're gonna get
nice,
a
like
blue
blue
house.
navy. It's
Yes.
like this kind of calming blue, like night blue.
We're starting to
Yes.
see a lot of those deep, rich colors
Deep
come into the
rich.
color palette
Interesting.
again.
Because I thought that maybe instead we were going for, I don't know,
White,
white offs.
Grays and whites are also very popular, and they've been popular for quite some time.
Yeah.
But
blue
now
is
you
making a
think that.
comeback.
Oh,
I think
wow.
so.
And greenish, something like that.
Not
No?
yet. No.
Blue is making a comeback.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Maybe we should call the blue.
Oh yeah, I got it now. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Maybe the blue home should be the Marco.
The Marco, I like
The
it.
Mar- oh, that would be
Marco.
okay.
I like
I'd
it.
love that. Thank you so much. I'll be here telling every day.
Erica
I
did
love
Make sure you get a
like
Marco.
blue.
Yeah.
I love the Marco.
I love the Marco.
All right, takes you off the hook. That way, if it doesn't work, it's not your fault.
Okay. And oh yeah.
Oh, no, you go ahead. You have a question?
What do you have personal visions for these for the future of housing? Do you have something that you think you would want to implement within maybe not 2, but maybe 5 years, 10 years? Is there maybe?
Not necessarily. I think
I hate to say it, I'm just not that creative either.
because
It could be a plan to know we have these, that this is good, and that we're gonna
Continue in that
continue
we
this, yeah.
think we have a wonderful selection of homes.
Uh-huh.
And we do occasionally add something new to the design, but we try to do a great job with the homes we build and stay in our lane, so to speak. If there's an opportunity where a particular community needs or requires a home that's a little wider, a little taller, a little deeper, that's when we'll have to get together and meet with the architect and see, is this really feasible? But to get too outside of our comfort zone creates a risk that we might not be meeting the right demand for the public.
I understand. Yeah.
And if one of the planning concepts here for Tuxedo Reserve was to meet the missing middle, and in other words, we want to meet a home style that'll serve the majority of the public. We may not be offering a home that'll serve the person that wants an 8-bedroom, $2 million home. That might not be the right person for our community.
Right.
But we're looking for those folks that are looking for a beautiful home that'll serve as a condominium, a townhome, or a single family. So when you try to stay in that scenario, you have to make sure that the home is something that the public wants.
Right.
And it might not sound exciting, but to us, it's fantastic because we know that we're providing something that'll be just a great community, and it'll look good, hopefully timeless, and with a couple of blue homes mixed in.
A couple of Marcos.
Yeah, we're getting creative with the blue.
Yes, yeah.
We get credit for that.
I mean, it's growing to me. You know, the blue house.
I think we have one in that Hopewell community that we've kind of talked about.
Yes, yeah.
So we'll take a picture of that and send it to you, just so you can know.
Do you think that the other gems from the global network of gems, so let's say Gem of Japan, Gem of China, which are other towns and cities around the world, can they be in touch with you to perhaps build into their communities?
Oh, I personally, and I'm sure Lisa also, would love to share ideas and talk about, because there might be something they're doing in one
They've got land ready to develop, and
or they just might have a development strategy that they find to be common in one of your other gem of series that we just haven't thought about and hasn't been implemented. So that would be
And then we
really
get to look
interesting.
creative.
Right.
yeah, I mean, a gem of UK, gem of France, gem of Germany. Do you have the capacity to
Gem of London.
Gem of London to go and build there?
Well, in the world of Lennar, they build in 27 states here in the U.S. And I don't believe we have an international footprint at this point. I don't know if it's in the cards. That's for other folks to talk about. So, and our division is limited to New Jersey and New York.
Okay.
So,
I remember you mentioned that.
Yes.
Yeah. So even if you said, Mitch, there's something wonderful in California, it's outside
Can
of
you build
our.
there?
You have to refer to our California division.
Right. There's a
Fair
whole
enough.
other team.
Yeah.
It's a huge.
So we try to be good at what we do
Of
here.
course.
Indeed.
That's your
This
strength.
division.
Well, you're
Otherwise,
fantastic.
If you would care
thank you.
about all the
I
states,
mean,
you wouldn't be.
But I'm the one in the US. I mean, we're not
That's
talking with.
excellent,
Yes,
yeah.
of course. Yeah. We're not building sand castles. Yes.
No, those aren't marketable.
No.
Interesting.
Children will love it. But
Yes.
Yeah, we did do in a couple communities, we did sand volleyball courts.
Nice.
So
I love
people
this.
could build their
Could
own.
build a sandcastle.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
very nice.
We should add that to what
Nice,
when we're
nice.
talking about.
You're right.
We have a sandcastle pit. Maybe we'll try
Nice.
that.
I love this. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
But thank you for the
Same
idea.
design.
Oh, yes,
new
yeah,
name.
yeah.
I like it.
Right.
Good marketing.
Two uses. Yeah.
Yeah.
We could include pails and shovels. Yeah. All right. Well, this is really productive. Thank you.
Yes,
I didn't think we'd get any marketing ideas out of this.
There you go. Yes. Yeah. But yes,
And
oh yeah.
I had one last question because you mentioned you are a mom.
Yes.
How many children do you have?
3.
3.
Yes, I have
Three daughters, you said, right?
3 girls.
3 daughters. And
Has your life improved?
how old are they?
Or-
Well, they're adults now, so
how old
it's
are they?
drastically improved thanks to the addition of my beautiful granddaughter.
uh-huh. Okay, yes.
She'll be 2
nice.
next month.
Amazing. Wow.
Nice. And
Congratulations on that. I mean, applause to that.
Thank
and
you.
beautiful.
Yes, yeah.
Plus
And
you're
thank
very
you for
young,
contributing,
So, yeah,
yeah.
they're like a very young mom.
Yes, I am.
What's your relationship with them? It's like
It's fantastic.
Gilmore Girls, like completely friends.
I mean, I'm probably a little stricter than the Gilmore mom, but I'd like to think that we're close like that. Yes.
Yes. And are they? It's any of your daughters going towards the direction that you are working?
Sadly,
like,
no.
home
And
building,
I
like-
tried to push it. I tried to tell them how spectacular it is, but they have their own paths.
Yeah. Oh, fair enough. Fair enough.
You try to tell it to the 2 years old. You gotta get into construction.
Some
It's
might
time.
call it brainwashing.
Yeah.
And what's your best quality?
My best quality? I would say most likely that my organization would be my best quality. I like to keep things neat and orderly so that it's easy to pick up where I left off
Indeed.
and share the information in whole and complete formats with other people.
Nice.
And that quality is very important to me also because Lisa allows me to stay organized by keeping us on the same
Oh my
path.
God! Yeah, you're an
Nice.
angel.
There's a
yeah,
lot
like
of things
for
going on. So it's-
Organization.
We
Yeah,
do
so
have
I
a
appreciate
lot of
that.
information that we have to sift through.
Structuring that information.
My goal is to
like
summarize, simplify, and make it easily digestible for your average reader to pick up and
Oh, there you-
understand.
I love this.
What about you,
It's
Mitch?
very
What's your...
helpful. Yeah.
Well, I have to stay consistent because we talked
do.
about
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
You can even change it. I mean,
No, I was.
Well, you could evolve.
Qualities evolve.
I'm not going to say the secret behind the best quality, but
Yeah, well, I can't pick what you said. So no, I'm going to stay the course. I think the quality that I bring to the table is finding solutions, problem solving, working
Yes.
with my teammates to find the path forward. And then when we find that path, some of those teammates, like Lisa, have to keep it organized and put it into an Excel spreadsheet or a PowerPoint presentation so that we can talk about it and implement it.
Nice.
And that's what gives me pleasure is seeing that there's something we need to work on and finding the right game plan.
And he's very good at finding a positive outcome to all of our tougher situations. He's been relied upon by almost everyone, if not everyone in our division, at least once or twice to get through some hurdles that couldn't really see the end to.
Well, thanks.
So you're very diplomatic. I imagine.
diplomatic.
Like, very much.
Also, I want to say positive thinking.
yes.
It's wonderful,
That's very
and we're going to
important,
figure
yeah.
out how to make it wonderful.
indeed, yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. That's the most wonderful approach, and that's what they should have in life in general, and not just like it's
Thank you.
beautiful.
And guys, we can sign off with the you wake up tomorrow
Right.
and you're still about to get to university or you're out of college.
Yeah.
And you just wake up and it's still the bed where you were, you know, it's still the same house, it's still all of these that happened, and up until now, it was just a dream. So you wake up, what do?
It's all a dream.
No, you've seen this, you're right?
Yeah.
You go back to that age, you're like 18, 19. What do you do?
Would you change anything? Would you keep it the same?
What do I do? No.
It feels like a great dream. I don't think I would stray.
That's right.
Yeah, no, I loved the growing up experience in Central Jersey, and college was the best. Law school was fun, and getting out in the workplace and getting married.
Yeah, of course, Linda.
And then evolving with my Lennar teammates and the pleasure of working with Lisa. It's fantastic. And then to top it off with, wow, look at this, we're movie stars.
I mean,
Celebrities.
so
This is not a movie.
it doesn't get any better than this. I mean, that's the top.
We're going to try to find how it gets better.
Yes,
But for
yes.
today, it's fantastic.
Fantastic. Okay.
Yeah.
Medea, thank you so much. You've been
Thank
fantastic.
you. Oh,
Thank
it's
you
been
so much.
wonderful again.
Thank you so much.
Greatly appreciate you having us.
Thank you. Oh, it's a pleasure. Pleasure. Thank you
Erica,
so much.
Thank you for the
thanks.
bags.
And, yeah, and enjoy your stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you so much,
so
Medea.
much.
We are ready to travel even further.
Good.
All right, we'll see you in Italy.
So you know what I want to know now, right?
What?
I want to know who's
Next.